Lamella, lovely cushion header. But Gerrard, you beauty! Balotelli, Aguero! I swear you'll never see anything like this ever again. Here he is again. Here he is again. It's astonishing. It's absolutely world class.
Alright, start recording. This is The Coaches Don't Play, episode 4 now.
Yep.
With, I mean, for the second time, but for the first time.
Yeah. It would have been the first one, wouldn't it have?
It would have been the first episode.
But there was it didn't end up recording my end.
Yeah, that I did put my hands up. That was my bad.
Yeah. Would have been a lovely I guess schizophrenic episode from you talking to yourself if you uploaded that, but
yeah,
obviously it wouldn't have made too much sense.
Yeah. I mean, it was a great episode as well to start everything off, and when I went back onto my folder, pressed it, and then all I can hear was my voice, and I was so gutted.
Yeah. How long did we go for? Because we went for a while, I swear.
Hour and like 10 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
Long.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I mean, since then, it's carry on.
First things first, though. I'm gonna say
yes.
Congratulations on
of course. Thank
1.1 now.
I'm at 1.01. It's annoying the way YouTube does it, but I'm at 1,018 exactly.
1,018 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's
I hit 1,000 yesterday. It is. It really is. Monetization comes through. Members come through. Yeah, the money's in now. Or eventually, I guess. Stuff like I can make community posts, I guess, if I'm really that bored. But those do very good for the algorithm. So.
Yeah. I mean, just want to say something. I'm on your channel now. A month ago, your channel trailer and the description.
Yeah, a month ago, and it's 300.
Yeah, thank you for the 300. And now,
and that's a month ago.
You skyrocketed all the way up, which is, I mean, it's mental, really. Your rise.
It's insane. Like, I went from, like, I think I plateaued. I felt I plateaued at like 100 every 2 weeks, because I was like, oh, the last 6 weeks I've gained 100 every 2 weeks since it was 200, then 100 later it was 300, then 400, 500. Then after that, it just just flew past.
I've got your most popular uploads here. Your best one was a year ago. You got 7.7.
I don't even know why that has that many views, but yeah.
7.7k views, then 5.2, then 4k, then 3.4, and then 2.3. I mean, you've had those videos where, for a small YouTuber, because I mean, you are 1,000 views. I mean, thousands.
Yeah. No, I would 100% say I'm small. Definitely a small YouTuber.
Yeah, but small with a good community.
100%.
Because I did drop in. I dropped in. When did I drop in? Wednesday. Last Wednesday, because that's when I did. That's when I recorded my first/second podcast.
Yeah.
With Linus, and I dropped in. You gave me a cheeky shout out, didn't you?
Oh yeah. No, I did. I probably will when this one goes up. But yeah, and I don't know. It's cool looking at the numbers. Because, I mean, it's what, 6, 12, plus 3, 15, 16 videos with 1,000 views or more. That's insane.
That is insane. I mean, for me as well, for who just started YouTube, seeing, I think the Linus one is now on 142 views in the first week. And for me, I'm like, oh, that's really good. I mean, Craig McKell-Smith one's done a little less. He's done a little less on YouTube, but the same on Spotify and other ones.
I feel like that would be more. Spotify, I definitely see has more like loyal listeners, like the same as with my podcast.
Yeah.
It's got like it will regardless do like I think it's like 1 to 3 on Spotify that will listen to it every week, and then YouTube it fluctuates from like it just fluctuates a lot.
Yeah.
I think because YouTube is so much more algorithm based. YouTube is like, oh, we'll just show this to anyone. Spotify is the people who are more going out of their way to listen to it.
Yeah,
Like,
and I think it's a lot easier as well because it's different. I don't know how it works because I don't know if it's on Spot. Is it views or it's downloads, isn't it?
what, on Spotify?
On Spotify because I have it on now. I can do it by episode. I'm looking at my analytics.
Yeah.
It's actually done the exact same.
Yeah.
33 downloads for each.
Yeah, downloads. I assume it'll be listens, but yeah.
That's what it says on there. But it says 33, which for both. But I know the thing is, well, I know that everyone who watched the first episode, some people didn't watch the second, and new people did. Because I got messages for some people saying like, oh, I listened to it. I've really enjoyed it. Keep up the good work. And like. When people just like went out their day to message me that, I thought, oh, that's such a good feeling.
It always is. It always is. Trust me, I understand the feeling, especially when it's just out of nowhere. You're just kind of doing your thing, and then out of nowhere, people are like, "Oh yeah, it's sick what you're doing," and like those kind of things are always fun to get.
Yeah, it's been such a like mental ride so far. I mean, I've got my top 3 is 3%. Hang on. 6% are on Amazon Music.
Yeah.
8% is on Apple Podcasts, and 74% is on Spotify, and 3% is on Chrome, and the other 3% is on Internet Explorer.
yeah.
But it's quite it's a bit weird because I every day without fail, I always have my like podcast host website always up. So I always refresh it, and it goes total downloads. And it'll go like 67, 68, and then like hopefully it'll go higher. But it says like your top platform, top app. 88% is on mobile, which is
yeah.
But I'm also
I think
sorry. There you go.
Oh, I was gonna say I do the exact same thing. I mean, I have one sort of browser tab always open because PC, whatnot, 3 monitors. On my second monitor, I always have a browser tab open. And my tabs will, without a shadow of a doubt, always be whatever YouTube video I'm watching, my analytics, my Shorts channel's analytics, my podcast channel's analytics, my podcast channel's Spotify analytics, and then like sometimes I'll have my actual channel open to see if I change anything or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. You've
like
you ain't messing about.
Yeah, I mean it is like I was thinking about it earlier today. Actually, I was like. So I'm running 3 channels, 2 TikToks, and yeah, because there's a new podcast. There's a TikTok for the podcast, and there's my shorts. Do you know how YouTube Shorts work?
Yeah.
They're basically TikToks but for YouTube. And then I put those on TikTok as well.
Yeah,
so I'm running
bang as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's such an it's such a volatile thing, TikTok, that it's like something could just blow up. Yeah. TikTok is insane for numbers.
I need to do that. I need to. What I do is I need to go through my my podcast, and I need to sort of like get clips and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There has been some times where I've been like, there's sometimes where I'm in the podcast, and I'm like, oh, I should really just like clip that up, but because I can't because I'm focused on not cocking it up.
Yeah.
But like, so this is episode. It might confuse people. So this is episode 4. At the time of recording, I only had 2 episodes up. There is a podcast going out today, which is with Harvey Mahoney.
Yeah.
And we just absolutely.
What is he doing nowadays?
I think he was at college. And he's going to uni. He's going to Nottingham University.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just rambling about football and a bit of a childhood because me and Harvey. We were really close when we were growing up, and it's the funniest one I've done so far.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff we said, I wish I could just sort of like clip it up and put it on.
Yeah, but I think now that me and Ross have webcams, it makes it a lot easier to do the sort of clip kind of thing because there's not a lot of more editing. I remember when we didn't have webcams, there's 2 clip videos on our channel that they're like constant images on the screen,
Yeah,
like
that's what I've
changing
done.
images.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I realized, I was like, wait, this takes decades to edit,
Yeah.
so I'll probably shift up how I do it. And then in the end, yeah, we ended up, and then now the clips are sort of just taken from the video because there's webcams. And obviously it's a natural progression to make. And I was going to say, I think anyone would, but with your podcast, Coaches Don't Play, there was definitely a bit of doubt there. Like obviously as there would be, like there would be for my podcast, there would be for my channel, everything. There's always going to be a bit of doubt, but
Yeah.
fair to you, you have been chugging along. You definitely have. Like you've been. I was surprised when I was like, okay, there's actually like episodes coming out. They're actually getting people on. There's actually like, there's a bit of drive behind it, which was good to see.
And there's also an exclusive. Hopefully, it's in the works. Going across the pond.
Yeah.
Maybe, no, don't take this as fact, but might be doing a cross promotion with another podcast. Called the Halftime Community Podcast, and they're like everything NBA in America.
Yeah. Yeah.
And on I used a podcast host, Red Circle, which was I looked for like hours. Just like late at night, just on like YouTube, watching videos on like the best podcast hosts, and because for someone who had £0,
Yeah.
it was so hard. And I found this one because other ones like Buzzsprout, they're ones that they're massive, but for their free one, it's you can only have like 5 hours of thing a month or something.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
this one you can just post as much as you want. But
Yeah.
there's also a feature where you can message other podcasts on the app.
Yeah.
And I've messaged a few and they actually got back to me.
Yeah.
And so hopefully, it's just finding the time because they're American and obviously.
Yeah, there is like, yeah, it's a hard one to work with. It's a hard one to work with.
We've been sending like two emails a day, because whenever I send an email, they're probably asleep, and when they send an
Yeah.
I'm probably asleep. So it's a bit it's in the works. So I mean, 5 episodes in the span.
Yeah.
God knows when I started. I think it was.
Yeah, I'm
3
definitely
weeks ago?
surprised about that. Yeah, especially because considering you're like a guest based one, and obviously that's a much harder than like my one where it's literally just weekly. It's just we sit there, waffle, done. Like we don't have to get a guest, we don't have to make sure we get one, to get the episode out.
Yeah.
It's just kind of it's just out every week. So I think I've obviously got to applaud you for that, and also your podcast sort of inspired us to start getting guests as well, because we're trying to sort some out for our
Mate, that's great to hear, because I have been thinking, maybe I could like do it on my own, maybe do a little section on my own, but I feel like how would that work? Am I like my personality? Can I sit there, talk, and also be interesting? Because I see a lot of YouTubers. I see for example, a YouTuber I watch, a football basis, is Lawrence Alcott. He does a lot of football videos. He does that, but he does it on his own. He just looks at the camera and talks, and he does it really well. And he's also funny. He's interesting, so he just like engages viewers. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a bit worried. I'd just be like run out of things to say, or the topics won't be.
Yeah,
right.
of course.
It's definitely in the back of my head, but
I mean, try it out. I think that's all I can really say, because I mean, the same thing happened with me and Ross on Animosity. I think it was Christmas. It was the near Christmas episode, and he was busy. So then I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. And then I hopped onto the thing, and then I sort of just sat there and waffled with myself. I just waffled on my own. I think it was like only like a 45-minute episode.
Yeah.
But even though we didn't end up uploading that, I now know that I can do it. So I think if you just in case. So I know that if anything happens, I can just, if Ross is busy one day, I can just hop on and waffle about whatever for like however long,
Yeah.
and because there's an audience there, I think I definitely have this with my main channel when I'm streaming and stuff. Even if no one's typing in chat, or which is rare, but like just knowing that I'm talking to an audience
Yeah, it's
makes
easier
it
when like
so much
because
easier.
if you didn't have if you like started out like I think like me if I post something onto YouTube and I put it on my Snapchat or like put a link up or something, I think I'll get definitely average like 20 views.
Yeah,
Dead on Twitter. I reckon I'll just get maybe that, and that just for me, just like I know those people will watch it, and I know there are certain people who will when I post something they will watch it.
yeah,
But they're people like close to me who want to support me, and I'm very grateful for that. And also there's some people who there are definitely some people I didn't expect to like. He messaged me saying like oh yeah I saw your podcast, mate. I really like it. I mean, like, there's a YouTube account called Five Guys FC, who personally I haven't seen before, and I watched some of their videos. They're a five-a-side team on YouTube,
yeah,
and they got like 3,000 followers on Instagram. They did a bit on YouTube. I think they got like 50k on YouTube at one point.
jeez,
And
yeah,
they just messaged me, so yeah, out of nowhere, go like, "Oh, how you doing, mate? Where you supporting from?" I got Hertfordshire, and they go like, "Oh, that's sick, bro. I just saw your podcast and I listen to it tomorrow. If you need anything, message me." I was like, "Oh, that's sick." Just getting like engagement.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. But like Linus Udofia, my first podcast, he still likes everything I post on Instagram.
yeah,
He's still there. He's still like he's not just done it and then just like left it. He's actually like engaging a bit more, and that's just that little like means a lot to me.
yeah.
Yeah, just that double tap.
It's that bit of support that goes a long way, like a
Yeah.
long way.
Yeah, it
Like,
means a lot.
yeah, it definitely, yeah, I've definitely had that where just someone just reached out of nowhere. I think someone who I talked to like quite a few times, a decent mate. He's year below. I'm mates with his sister who is in our year, but I've talked to him a few times, and he just messaged me one day, and he was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, saw your podcast. So I saw it on your story. I wasn't able to get my revision done, and I started watching it, and turns out it was the kind of noise of the classroom that I was missing. And I got to say, I'm going to be tuning in for every episode. It's been really good, and like, just it's little things. It's little things. Like at one point, I really bumped up my editing on my videos. Like I jumped up the editing. I didn't really like say too much. I was like, "Oh, I'm editing more now." But someone in my Discord just after I uploaded a couple videos with the new editing style was just like, "Oh, notice the new editing. Think it's really good. Keep up with the good work."
Yeah, just that
And that's
small
just
little recognition.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, stuff like that does go a long way.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, with this podcast right now, one we're doing,
yeah.
like I said at the start, we said we just ramble about anything. In the I want to get your opinion on just like the most recent news story going. What is what is your opinion?
Is this?
Yeah, but what is your opinion on Piers Morgan?
I knew it. I knew it. Yeah. This is something. This whole situation. Well, I mean, it's a weird one. I
I have an opinion on him.
sometimes I can be like, okay, he's got a point there, but most of the times I'm like, yeah, but there's like 100 other ways you could have said that.
Yeah.
You muppet. But like, I think I don't know if you would have known, but back in upper school, I myself had some controversial opinions. I would often be outspoken with these controversial opinions,
Yeah.
and I had people who definitely agreed. But I feel like with Pierce, it's because I often did it in a respectable way when I spoke out my opinions. I did it in a respectable way. He definitely goes a bit over the top, and it was petty the way he walked out. I saw that clip.
Yeah.
And the opinion that he had on
Meghan Markle.
Meghan Markle, like, I fully understand what she's on about, and of course there's stuff like you can be like, oh, she doesn't want to be in the public eye. Oh well, why have you done a 2-hour interview? Well, it's like that's her going out of her way to be in the public eye. That's completely different from the newspapers shoving her in the public eye, and the kind of stuff that goes on in the royal family. Of course, I feel like we'll never truly know. Like, unless, I don't know, Big Lizzo comes out with her own interview or a diss track, one of the two. Like,
yes,
I-
Lizzie needs to put out a diss track.
Exactly. Like, we're not really going to get another side of it. We're not really going to get, like, and regardless of anything that happens, we're never really going to get a definitive answer unless there's literal 24/7 security footage leaked. We're not going to get that answer of what actually happened in the royal family.
Yeah.
However, the fact that she's gone out to speak about it and talked about the effects it had on her, I feel like there's other things you can do than bog her down, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you want to be like, oh, but you know, it's slightly hypocritical the way she went about it because she makes this persona of not wanting to be in the public eye. However, she then does this interview which is against what she says. However, I understand doing that. Like, there's a million other ways he could have phrased it. Or, well, I don't even know what he said about Meghan Markle. I just know because it's Piers Morgan that he probably said it in a dumb way.
I think he said at one point that Meghan Markle said that her mental health was really bad.
And he said he didn't like believe her or
he didn't believe her, which is you can't say that because when someone says something as damaging as that, when they say like my mental health was so bad, you sort of not have to believe them, but like if you don't,
it's the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah,
like,
if you don't believe them, then it could get worse.
Yeah, it's like I understand the sort of like, oh, what if they're using the mental health? Like, of course, I know there's situations where, but I guess I'm more into the YouTube sphere than anything, so I can use this as an example. With Deji, he did some deplorable stuff with his dog, stuff against his brother, tons of stuff. But in one of his videos, he was talking about, I've been in a really dark place and my headspace has been a bit messed up. People came out and they're like, obviously we're sympathetic towards that. Obviously, we're sorry if your mental health is currently struggling. However,
is it an excuse?
Your actions are separated from that. There's like, exactly, and instead of being like, oh, I don't believe that she's got bloody problems or whatever, instead of doing that kind of dumb thing, you'd be like, of course, I understand that. Well, it's just, I don't know, I don't agree with his opinions. Yeah, could have 100% worded it better, and of course there's the benefit of the doubt that exists. Like, if I was completely arguing against someone, like, I was opposite end of the spectrum, and they were like, yes, but my mental health has been really damaged at the moment, I've been going through this and this, instantly, it would switch to, sorry that's happening. Anyway, I can help with that specifically, or something like that. And then, but then it still would be, however, I still don't agree with you. Like, you don't have to...
Just because you feel bad for them, just because you know they are going through a bad time, doesn't mean automatically like, oh, I'll just switch up.
That you think they're right, yeah.
Because
like,
that's happened before. I definitely, like, you can think someone has said that, like, oh, my mental health's been really bad, and then depending on the person, they'll probably go like, oh god, I should maybe stop, blah blah blah, and then they haven't won the argument, but they've sort of dissolved it in a way where it's sort of deceiving.
It's there's like. It does become a bit of a problem, and it's a shame that the world works in the way where people can be doubtful of someone saying, "Oh, my mental health is this." Because it's a shame that we live in a world like that where it can be doubtful that is the case. But sometimes it is, and I feel like sometimes if it is genuine, it cannot be. It isn't like a get out of jail free card. It's maybe let's wait a bit or sort that stuff out then, or maybe calm down a bit on it, or make sure you're critiquing in a way that isn't adding towards it, but like that kind of thing. And it's my train of thought just flew out the window. My brain just Stop. You take that away while my brain realizes what it's not about.
Let me put this into thing. I think the Daily Mail posted they released a bit on the front page of their newspaper. The worst, sort of the worst thing to happen with the royal family in 85 years, which I looked at, and the first thing that came to head, the Queen's son is literally a paedophile. He is a nonce. It's not
Like
I'm not I have like sort of thought about this. I thought like, should I really be sort of like worried what I say on podcast because it could bite me in the arse? He's a paedophile.
I guess he's not coming on the podcast then.
No, I don't want him. I don't want him on the podcast because I'd have to lock my little sister in her bedroom with a couple of padlocks because I don't trust him.
Yeah.
I mean, the Epstein things. There's a whole nother thing. Like, obviously, like, oh, did he kill himself? Did he not?
But there's images of him associated with the royal family is the one thing that I could back your statement up with. Of course,
there is like he has been on the private jet where there were minors. That isn't speculation. That is fact. He has said that. I wouldn't say it otherwise if I didn't know the facts.
Of course.
But yeah, well, I thought like, well, you put that under the carpet, didn't you? But just because Meghan Markle's a different shade of colour, whoa.
Yeah.
Things get out of proportion.
Yeah. And I mean, some of the stuff, I did listen to the interview, and some of the stuff was a bit like her son not being afforded the prince status or security. Like, and there's little things that, okay, sure, she could be making completely up.
Yeah.
However, is it not worth a look into? Like,
yeah. But then,
would
you, because they're no longer royals, though, are they, Harry and Meghan? Because they
dipped out a while ago.
Yeah, they dipped out, exactly. So, I mean, you got to, since they dipped out, then the son shouldn't get anything because he's not.
While they were, their son was not afforded the prince role or given security of any kind.
Isn't it because it's an unnamed royal was worried about the skin colour of the baby.
It was something to do with. Meghan said she believed it was to do with the skin tone of the child, but obviously that's speculation, and of course, I don't want to make factual statements on a house I don't live in. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like,
it's been a massive sort of like. I mean, it's led to Piers Morgan leaving Good Morning Britain. So.
I mean, one thing I found funny was I was looking at Twitter and I was like, oh, Piers Morgan, oh, he left, because that was like the top trending thing.
Yeah.
And then I looked down a bit. I'm like, okay, all of these about Piers Morgan. I was like, oh, there is a god. What's that about? Oh, Piers Morgan's left. There is a god. Jeremy Clarkson. What has he done? Oh, they want him to host Good Morning Britain now.
Oh my god.
Like, it's
the Jeremy Clarkson. He's a different breed. I mean, I love Jeremy. I mean, when he was a Top Gear presenter, I thought he did brilliantly. He's also a little bit controversial, and he's also said some things.
Yeah, but it's the times change, and people change and people grow.
And other people
I feel. Yeah, and exactly. And while people are growing, people are getting offended at things that happened many years ago. And it's
I've just got something that came into my head. Do you know something about Super Straight?
I've been watching that from a distance.
Are you super straight?
I mean, I do have a girlfriend, so I guess it's a weird one. But I'd say if I didn't, I personally would not date a woman if I was aware to the fact that she was previously in her lifetime a male or born a male.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing. There's a full difference between me being like, oh, she shouldn't be allowed on this planet, and me being like, I wouldn't shag her. Like, there's like. Believe it or not, Tyler Barnard, I wouldn't shag you, but like that doesn't mean I don't want you on this earth, or that means I'm not. That doesn't mean what's it called? That I hate you, or
Whoa.
I don't like you at all.
That's not what you messaged me last night.
Oh yeah, of course, of course. Oh well, we don't talk about those messages.
I mean,
But
I get what you're saying though. I do get what you're saying because it's like I see I see two ways of it. There are some people who have seen Super Straight and go, "Oh, I'm super straight. I don't want to date a trans person." Other people go, "Let's make this to piss off other people."
yeah,
Which
yeah.
is sort of, I get why they're doing it, and it's the idea of like, oh, let's just make a sexuality out of nowhere, because like I can make like I'm frog sexual, I only like frogs.
It's you know what it is. You know what it is. It's that kind of like playground argument of like, oh look, okay, I can do it too. Where it's like I've seen these things where it's like, oh, we're LGBTQ now, and if you disrespect me, you're being what's the one? You're being like superphobic or like homophobic, that kind of thing. It's like yeah, like it's that you're going against it or you're making fun of my sexuality. Like it's that kind of you know what it is? Like you said earlier, there's always two ways of looking at it. There's always many ways of looking at it. I think one side is kind of just like, I'm gonna be a cretin to society, and I'm gonna go piss off some feminists. And then there's another side that's like, you know what? I am kind of fed up with the whole hyper offended, hyper. You know, if you do this, you're wrong, and if you do this, you're wrong, and you have to live your life like this. So you know what? I'm gonna throw it back at them and be like, look, well, now I'm an identified sexuality, so now you have to respect me the same way you treat me. The same way you get other people to treat you, you have to treat me like that.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Where
So it's trying to get friendly fire, sort of thing. Like you're trying to get the other person to make.
It's like an Uno reverse card.
Yeah, they're trying to make it dig at you, and you go, oh, hello. If you actually think about it, you can't do that to me because you're part of it. Go, well, you take the piss out of my sexuality, I'll take the piss out of yours, which is childish.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's two sides to it. One of them is literally like one of them is my brain's stopped again. One of them is sort of showing them, trying to make them realize a different perspective to what they're doing.
Yeah.
And the other side is like a lot of it is just people being like, oh I'm super straight. Now you can't say anything about what I like.
It's stupid. It's because okay. If in a world where super straight is now like being taught in schools, just such as being a lesbian, being gay, is now being taught in school. I've recently got a new job, working in a school. I need to be DBS checked. I need to do all that. And I go into the school, and this week's thing is LGBTQ, which is like, I'm not making this up. I walked in, it was like their value of the week, which is, I completely understand it. I'm not against it being taught to kids, because they need to learn, and it will. I think in the later run of life they will. Because when we were in the playground, I'll call my mate gay as an insult, right? Because that's what just happened. That's just as it was. But now, if you call your friend gay, and then
it's this big controversial
it'll be a massive, like, you could be taken into the office and you have to be taught like you can't say that's gay because actually little Timmy, in the year above is gay. He's having a hard time, so you can't do that anymore. Which I can understand. I feel
understand,
like that kid's feelings and sexuality should be sort of respected, and it should be respected, because people who are like, but just because you're gay, I doesn't mean I have to like learn about it. You should learn about it, because you need to realise like the world doesn't revolve around you, and there are other people, and you need to learn about sort of every sort of culture, just to be mindful, because like, just don't be a dick
I feel like, yeah, exactly. I feel like that's kind of what it is. And I feel like context is a big part of just not being a dick. Because it's kind of like, how am I trying to describe it? It's like you calling your mate gay isn't completely not you saying
I'm not.
I hate the gays.
If
like,
I called
that's,
you gay, I'm not homophobic. Right?
Yeah.
If you
it's
were
like,
gay and I made fun of you for being gay, that
and
is
it was
homophobic.
your intent. Yeah, your intent was to make me feel worse, or your intent was, or you disliked me as a direct result of me being gay,
Yeah.
which I am not. But it's like,
out there.
yeah, but context matters 20 times over, and it's that kind of thing. It's like people just sort of, what are the words I'm going for? People jump to it so quick, where it's like, just because I call my mate gay means I hate all of the gay. Like, how has that jump been made?
Yeah.
How has that jump from me using a word gone to you don't like anyone who associates with that word? Like, it's that context that matters. And of course, I know that word, gay, can be used as an insult against people, and in some situations, yes, it is used as homophobic. However, when people are just using it as a word as it's intended to be used in the English lexicon, therefore, it is, by the definition, which is forever altering, not said primarily to show yourself as someone who is against gay people. It's just a word.
There were some big words in that.
Yeah.
You got the thesaurus out for that one.
My debating skills did come in there a little bit.
Yeah, but I think I don't know how we got onto this conversation. I think we went from
there's the whole super straight thing.
Yeah. Super straight. Yeah. Let's go back to super straight.
I saw it, and I was kind of just like, okay, I get it. Do what you're doing. I couldn't care less. That was my response, kind of, with it.
I'd be like, I said, yeah. So like, but if you look down to it, so that we are both super straight. We both. I wouldn't date a woman who was a man because I am not sexually attracted to that, and there is nothing wrong with that, and you should not feel ashamed for that. But but in the other way, if someone goes to me, if like my mate goes to me, like I'm gonna use Tommy as an example. Sorry, Tommy. I couldn't think of what's his name. Tommy goes to me, goes, you know what, Tyler? Like, I like this girl, but she is trans, but I don't actually care, and I see her as a woman, and she has female anatomy. She is everything about her. She is a woman, but she was a man, and I don't care. I'd be like, that's fine, mate. You shouldn't be worried. But like other people will make fun of you because people are dickheads.
That's just how life is. Yeah, that's just how. It's just a shame that's how it is. But yeah.
Yeah, but I feel in that situation, I wouldn't take the piss out of him. I wouldn't do anything because you need to realise that like you like someone because you're attracted to that someone. It's like I said that I could be attracted. Let's say. I was a dog, okay, and I was attracted to bulldogs, and someone was a chihuahua, and then they go, what you don't like chihuahuas? Well, that's I'll think of a word to discriminate against chihuahuas. And like,
that's offensive.
No. Yeah, that's offensive to me.
No,
I just like this one bit, and then just because you don't like another bit, doesn't make you a bad person.
Yeah.
It's like the monkey explain sort of thing. But people don't understand. And some 14-year-old girl on TikTok will see someone going like, I wouldn't date a trans person, and then go, whoa, that's transphobic. Why is it transphobic?
Yeah, like, okay.
If you go,
did he say he doesn't like them as people? Does he say
If you go on TikTok and go like, I hate trans people, I think they're disgusting, and I think it shouldn't be allowed.
That's trans. Yeah, then you're transphobic,
and you're transphobic,
like, and you're just a dickhead. Like exactly. that's what that is.
But people don't understand there is a difference.
Like people, let people live their lives. Like
Exactly.
just because, like, yeah. I mean, what? I would say I'm very attracted to my girlfriend.
I hope
My
so.
girlfriend is of mixed race descent. Does that mean I hate anyone who's not that race?
Exactly.
No, you bloody moron! No, like it's yeah.
Yeah, we have proper gone for it now, haven't we?
It's an interesting topic to go into, and I definitely remember going quite into topics like that with upper school. I did in college as well. I remember in college there was I really miss college.
I love college.
College was kind of where I was in middle school.
Yeah.
I was a cretin. No one should have liked me. No, I was a piece of shit. I would have bullied me if me from middle school was in the same year as me.
Jesus.
Then upper school, I definitely became way more just sort of normal.
Mature.
I was yeah. And then college is kind of where I actually fully came out of it, became more, I'm a more center of it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where college was some good days. It was sitting there, and that there's always that dopamine hit, and it's unforgettable, and it happened so much at college, and it was perfect. And it was when you perfectly time a joke, perfectly timed, whether it's what the teacher said or someone on the board, someone comes to mind, you say it, and the whole class starts laughing.
It's a great feeling.
Like it's the most addictive dopamine hit in existence. Like it was quite a lot because I was around a good group of mates in college. They understood my humor. Everyone in the class understood my humor.
My college class was a lot different.
Yeah, was it? Oh, mine was. Yeah.
Okay. My college class was very controversial. I had some great mates from college. My mate Lewis, I went out with him yesterday. Did a bit of football, doing the old exercise with another household. Don't count on me.
Yeah.
I met some great people. A lot of stuff happened in that college. Was not all of it was double legal.
Yeah.
Yeah, things. Well, I escaped so much stuff at college from making small moves. Like, I was literally like, I was like going to if I went to McDonald's on this day, this would have happened. But I don't want to name names. People in my college course, stole some stuff from a local shop near my college. They got caught, right? I never stole anything from that shop. You can ask people. I just need to cover myself. It must cover my tracks. Because I thought it was wrong. But I will say this out loud, and I don't think I can get in trouble for this. Whenever they said that we're going to go to B&M, we're going to take some stuff, I would always say this. I would say, I'd advise you not to do that, but if you do, can you get me a packet of straws? Which
yeah. To be fair, I mean, hey, that is definitely one way of going about it. I mean,
looking back on it, it was not. It's not good. It's not.
Of course, but you can admit that now.
I sort of covered myself. I was like, I wouldn't do it if I were you, but if you did, sort of thing. But I never did it myself because I can't. I'm a pussy. I can't do anything like that. Couldn't live with myself, really.
Yeah.
Because I'm just not that kind of person. There's a lot of things happened in my college school. I mean, someone nearly got stabbed.
Jesus. Yeah.
Well, what else happened? I volleyed a rock. Fractured my foot, which wasn't fun.
I can imagine. Yeah.
I went to. We were playing football rounders. Right, ball got pinged over to the car park with there's stones everywhere. So I ran after it. I was in the car park. I took a touch with the ball. I looked up. It was about 40 yards away. Me thinking, I'm some next level footballer. I can ping this. So went to go hit it. Hit the ball. Scuffed the ground. Kicked a rock. Right. Fractured my foot. Didn't go to college for about a month or two. That honestly, most boring time of my life. So boring.
Yeah.
Couldn't do anything. I had to literally roll down the stairs.
Yeah.
My foot up, and I went to, and then I think, which stupid, 2 weeks later I went to Stevenage. I went to go to Pizza Hut with a few mates. Pre-COVID.
Of course.
And then I had this massive leg cast on.
Yeah.
Which you can strap off and strap on, so it was very easy to get in and out of.
Yeah.
Almost killed myself getting out of the shower once.
Jesus, yeah.
And so I thought, right, I don't want to be a dick, so I don't want to go to Stevenage with this massive thing on, so I just took it off, right?
Yeah.
Got to Olsey train station, got up the steps, right? I thought, oh my god, this is such a bad mistake. And halfway through, I was on the train, I was sitting down, and I went to go stand up. I just realised, oh my god, this is going to be so painful. It was honestly it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I've realised is in these podcasts I have a tendency to absolutely ramble on.
I mean, that's what makes a good podcast, to be honest. It's being able to lengthen out a conversation, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's the same. I think last episode with me and Ross, we did come to the end of the episode, and we were like, should we just go ahead and just waffle? At the end of the episode, we were like, you know what? He sort of said, he was like, oh, when there's not a lot to talk about in the week, I don't want to just go ahead and start waffling. And I was like, I mean, that's kind of what a podcast ends up being. And even the comments, someone left a comment was like, don't even worry about waffling. It's what makes a good podcast. It's the sort of thing people are there for often.
Yeah. But I mean,
and it's sort of those things you go on to.
It is stupid how you can just. I'll tell you why, because we have been talking for 46 minutes.
Jesus.
Yeah, 46 minutes. Feels like 20.
It honestly does not feel like that at all. Yeah.
It just goes on, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Do want to say something? I do really need a piss. Right, and I've been holding it in since the first 10 minutes. So
I can talk to them while you're gone.
You have a little conversation. When I come back, tell me if it goes well or not. If it doesn't go well, I'll cut it out.
That's fine. Yeah.
I'll be back in a sec.
So what's going on, Coaches Don't Play podcast? My name is Sid, also known as Sidwaj. Funny thing how that came about, Sidwaj, is I've had that question on stream a few times, how my name came about. See, my full name, and you're not ready for this. I can tell you it's going to be a long name, but you're still not going to be ready for it. Saeed Wajid Hussain Shah Kazmi. See, the thing with that is, I'm Pakistani. And that's why that's that. But basically, I stream. I do a ton of streams. And how have I just gone to streaming? My name. So Saeed Wajid Hussain Shah Kazmi, right? Sidwaj. How does that happen? Basically, turns out the way Saeed works, my first name, it's like a surname, but it goes at the beginning. And then Wajid is technically the name my parents gave me, so it's the name they refer to me as. They call me Wajid. Turns out it's not exactly a cool name. So then what ended up happening was I was like, I'll bun that. I'm just giving the backstory on Sidwaj and how that came about.
Oh.
But then Wajid was kind of like, it's not exactly a vibe of a name. And then one of my mates, Will Hall, he's the reason my name is what it is. He was like, oh, why don't you go by Saeed? And then he started calling me Saeed. And then he was like, oh, Saeed Wajid Sidwaj. And then I was like, yeah, I guess that works. And then I started going by Sid. And then my YouTube name and my handle on everything started becoming Sidwaj.
Wait, so your name is actually Sidwaj?
No, my name is Sidwaj Hussein Shah Kazmi is my
Shut
full
up.
name. Yep, that's my full name.
Your
That
name
whole
isn't
thing.
Sidwaj.
My name isn't actually Sidwaj in real life, believe
Okay,
it
so
or not.
what is your legal first and second name?
Saeed Shah.
No way.
the
You joking? I've never
the
known.
way the did you not know
I've
my
known you
first
for- I've
name
known you for-
technically wasn't Sid,
I've known you for like
like,
4 or
and
5
surname
years.
Waj, and you didn't know it was Sid surname Waj? It wasn't Sid surname Waj.
I thought your literal name was just Sid Waj. It was like just Sid,
Well, technically it's Saeed Waji,
which
but
is
then
shortened to Sid
the
Waj.
extra, which is shortened to Sidwaj.
That's mental.
But yeah,
I
so
didn't
what
know
I was
that.
saying was, yeah, the way it works is because Saeed is technically at the front of my name as a surname. It's like a surname, but it gets passed down at the front of the name. It literally works exactly like that. Like, it's my dad had it, my granddad had it, Saeed. And then Waji is technically the name that my parents gave me. It's what they call me by. It's Waji is technically my name.
That's mental.
But then I just kind of was like, Waji's not the vibe. We'll go with Sid. Why not? Saeed, Sid, close enough. Then we switched over to Sid. Waji became Waj. And then Shah's my surname. So technically my name is Saeed Waji Shah. Technically two first names, or double barrel as I often type it. But it's technically not double barrel, but I write it as double barrel.
I did not know that.
Yeah. It is quite cool, and it's obviously a long surname that I do have. Or not a long surname, a long full name. Saeed Waji Hussein Shah Kazmi. It's
Jesus Christ.
a bit of a mouthful, but yeah,
yeah.
it's some fun facts. But
Yeah, I was when I was having a slash. I came up with a topic, a heated debate topic, because I did this at college. Now I just want a yes or no answer.
okay.
And do female footballers deserve to get equal pay? And I'll tell you my
Right,
answer.
so
Now,
okay,
yes or
okay,
no?
you
Yes
give
or
your
no?
answer.
Go, yes or no?
it depends. It's
Yes or no?
because that's not how it works. Because it's not a yes or no answer is the problem.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, my
Give
take
your answer.
is they don't, because of the obvious reasons. It's because obviously the broadcasting figures, the people who watch the games, the sponsors, everything else, and the level of football isn't as standard. Like I can safely say I can, off the top of my head, maybe name three female footballers, and I'm not a massive expert in the female game. I can name 3 female footballers who could make it as professional in the men's game, but that is maybe in League 2 level, maybe League 1. If you're pushing it, maybe the Championship with the more attacking players. But as I think they will do in the next 20 years, yes. There will be the first female footballer earning 100 grand a week. There will be a first female earning 200 grand a week. Will that happen over time? No, because the female game is so young compared to the male, and like it's been a male dominated game for years, and that is not the fault of women, because men have obviously over the years have sort of segregated women from playing the game. And professionally example as well, because I know one of the tutors at my college she's a professional women's footballer, but she can't afford. She was at Spurs, but she can't afford to be there full time because they don't pay enough. And which I can understand why, because the figures are so drastically different. And like it, because all the clubs, it'll be Liverpool, LFC, so like it's a WLFC or something. It's like a women's football club, and then it'll be like Birmingham. I know they're quite big. Charlton, Manchester United, Spurs, Arsenal. I think Arsenal and Chelsea. I think they're top 2 WSL teams. And do they deserve to get that much money? No, because the level isn't high enough yet. But the answer is yet. Yes, they put yes they put in the same amount of work, and they are playing at the equivalent highest level. But once people it's like in America with other sports as well. Like, so like, oh, why shouldn't females be in Major League Baseball because it's a non-contact sport? It's because women can't bowl fast enough, pitch fast enough, and they can't hit at the same. Because people say hitting a baseball is one of the hardest things to do in sport. Like, the way how fast they throw, like 90 mile an hour, fastball, and then the time you have like less. It's like something stupid like less than a millisecond, less than a second to like hit the ball. They can't do it. But they will get. I mean, the more women that will play, and then the better coaching there will be. I mean, I believe in the next 10 years, there will be a professional women's team can beat a men's team convincingly, 2-3-0. It could happen. It could happen. It could happen now. But I think because it's just the level really, and like once more money gets pumped into like. So people say like, why isn't the viewing figures of women's football as high as men's? When how many women are there in the UK? Do you know? Can you have a rough guess?
Give me a sec.
Okay, how many people in the UK?
There is, women-wise, 33.75 women in the United Kingdom.
That's million, yeah?
Well, that might be population overall.
So there's 66.65 million people. So does that mean there's more women than men?
Oh, okay, yeah. There's 32.9 million males, 33.8 million females in the United Kingdom.
Okay. Wait. So how many was women?
Like a mil more, I think.
A million more.
It was.
Okay. So why?
So I'll bloody. Oh, what's it done? Okay, well, yeah. I can't grab the numbers again, but yeah, that's the numbers we're looking at.
And why should But why should men watch the women's game when it doesn't appeal to them? Which is some of the things that women are saying, and like, so I don't watch the NFL because no women representation. I've seen that being said.
Yeah.
But like, you got to think.
You know, I can.
There's a million more women.
Yeah.
Like, do you get my point?
Yeah.
So, like, if every girl supported their local club and supported, like, it will be a bigger game.
But they just don't. They don't want to, and you can't really force them to. It's just kind of what it is.
Yeah, because it's because some girls just don't like football, and because it's not a feminine sport. Do you know why? It's because of men. Because men didn't let them play until God knows how long. But a lot before, like, men started playing football in like 18, near the 19th century. 19th century, like, I think when was like the first football club made in England? Like, it was like 900 and I don't know, about 120, 30 years ago, right?
Yeah.
I don't know the exact date, but about that time ago, the first club was made. I think it was Notts County, which is they're the biggest, earliest club. Right, women's clubs, especially professional ones, have made like 30 years ago, 20 years ago. I mean, once girls realise that football is a choice they can go into, then they will start flocking to it, and good on them. But right now, it's not. It's not as big as it should be, as well. Because I would love to be a women's coach, like coach a women's team, because it's somewhere that like not a lot of people watch, and I would love to like get people to it, and I'll like be one of the first young coaches to coach a professional women's team. Will be great because you could be looked at as a pioneer, which is something that not a lot of people in the men's game can do because everything's been done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a bit. Yeah, it's a bit. Well, great.
I'll give my take on it. Right. I think it's always going to be a hard one when you're talking about entertainment and the media side of everything. Because I remember I had this story that one of my college tutors brought up. She was talking about this woman running this show on this TV show sued the company she was running under for not paying her as much. But then the thing is, the problem with that was when you actually look deeper into it, her show just was not doing the same numbers. Even though it might have been the same, like the exact same kind of level, her show just was not at all doing the same numbers. And when you get into this media side of things, the whole income and everything is based on the popularity of something.
Yes, 100%.
And then because of that, it's such a hard thing to sort of get into when it's like, when you do sort of delve into the sort of thing where it's like women's being paid more or less has to be, because that's the way that industry works, is based on whether they're doing the same numbers. And my college tutors was just like, well, that's not how it used to be, so that's not how it's gonna work. So she got more money, even though that would have been a massive loss for the TV company.
100%.
And eventually,
if women's footballers got paid the amount that men's footballers paid, it'd be the worst business decision like the world's ever seen, because the amount of losses they would make, and like so
I think it's not the fault of the people paying them. It's not the fault of the people signing the checks. It's realistically it's not anyone's fault. It's on just that people don't want to watch it sometimes. And I know there's people who do want to watch it. There's tons of people who do want to watch it. However, there's not as many as watch men's. Therefore, it can't be like a direct competitor. Sure, like maybe what's more of a where the women's side is larger, like volleyball or some kind of those sports. Well, no matter what the sport, if women are doing better, bringing more numbers, bringing more attention, bringing anything like that more than men, then they should be paid more to reflect that. However, if they're just not pulling in the numbers, that's not their fault. I could go out today and upload the same video as, say, Lily Bloody Singh. I could upload the same video as her and then be like, oh, well, mine isn't getting views. That's because I'm a man. Or some woman could go out, upload a Reddit video, and then say, oh, wow, PewDiePie's getting paid for his video more because he's a man. No, he's being paid more because his content is being viewed more and wants to be viewed more. Regardless of, I mean, yeah, I feel like better is often even out of the question. It's just whether people are watching it and want to watch it, and seeing as people are already watching PewDiePie, or people are already watching Liza Koshy, or any large female creators like Pokimane. It's if you can completely remove the gender aspect from it, and you just have it as two people. Like, just be like, and just say that there's someone saying to someone else, oh, why are you getting more money when your show's doing better? That's not fair. Well, that's kind of how it has to work. They're looking at it on a base level. They're looking at it in black and white and being like, oh, the women aren't being paid more? Well, that's a problem. When it's not that kind of thing, it's the fact that people aren't watching it as much. And that's not because that's not really anyone's fault. Go tell all your relatives and go tell everyone to always start watching the women's football. And eventually when those numbers start driving up and the advertisements are being watched and the more people there's more eyes on it, then it's actually able for them to be paid. It's the advertisers. Okay, fine, go to bloody Pepsi, go to Chevrolet, people sponsoring like men's football things, and be like, oh, why aren't you paying the teams more? Why aren't you paying the women's teams more? Because for them, They are trying to promote their product. The same with sponsorships. You could be like, oh, why are they paying PewDiePie for sponsorships more? Or why are they paying Pokimane sponsorships more? Are they doing it because she's a woman? Are they doing it PewDiePie because he's a man?
Yeah.
No, because they bring more eyes to it. These companies like Chevrolet or whoever sponsor team kits and ads in football games. And like the 5 minute ad break in between halftime or whatever.
Yeah.
The reason they do that is because they need eyes on their brand, and they're only going to get eyes on their brand on the one that's viewed more, and therefore, if women's football just isn't viewed more, then that's not their fault that they can't fund it more. They just can't. They could inject tons of money into it. That would be a horrible business decision, terrible for the economy, because it would be a massive amount of money just going to waste with no sort of repercussion back to their brand.
Yeah.
It would be pointless, and that's why I'm not saying that they shouldn't be paid more. Like I'm not saying that like women football should never be paid more. It's a men's sport. Bloody.
Yeah.
Fucking. I'm not saying that at all. It's just the fact of that's how media works, regardless of gender. It's just if you're doing better numbers, you're gonna get paid more, and that's how that is, I guess.
I mean,
There's a massive tangent there, but yeah.
I mean, I would like to point something to you, and I want to tell you your opinion.
Yeah.
Do you know who the highest paid male athlete in the world is? Male model in the world is?
I wouldn't even guess.
Sean O'Pry. He makes a cool £8 million a year, right?
So like pocket change.
Yeah. Do you know?
I find that behind my sofa every now and then.
Do you know who the highest paid women's model is?
Who?
Kylie Jenner. Do you know how much she earns for modelling?
A tad more.
22.5 million.
Yep. And that's not because he's a man. That's not like, oh, look at this modelling industry is sexist. They hate men. They don't want to see us shine. No, because there's more eyes on Kylie Jenner than there is on the highest paid male model. Because there's more people who want to see Kylie Jenner than want to see the male one. That's how media-based industries work. And should it be like that? Technically, it has to be like that. I mean, sure, if it was the same situation in a banking agency where there was a women's side and a men's side, and they were both doing the same thing, then sure, they should be paid the same amount because they're doing the same thing, because it's a job like that. It's that kind of job. But when you change it into that job where it's a media-based job and it's a job based on how many eyes are on you, that's a completely different story.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but I had a point then, and it's completely gone out my head, which was.
There's it. You can get it back. You can get it back.
Fucking hell, what was the point? Hang on. I've lost it. I've lost it. It was a good point as well. But yeah, if you go to, I've just got the top highest male, Sean O'Pry 1.5. Oh, it says here 1.5 million.
Yeah.
It says 1.5 million. David Grady 1.4, Simon Nesman 1.1, and then if I go back onto the women's, but then I found the point.
Yep, okay.
The reason why the women's highest paid model is paid so much. Why do you think that's because of? It's because of men.
Yeah.
It's because
more people want to see her, therefore she's paid more because she brings more eyes.
Exactly. It's like because men want to see them women, and I've got here actually. So Kylie Jenner 22.5 million, Kylie Cross 13 million, Chrissy Teigen 11.5 million, Rosie Huntington Whitley is 11.5 million, and Cara Delevingne is 10.5 million. I mean, it goes down. I mean, the 10th one is earning 8.5 million, which is the highest of the men's. Which is it in other businesses and other things. It's just how it is. Sometimes women are better than other men. I don't want to make any points because some of them might be deemed sexist. I don't have any opinions on it, but I just want to cover myself. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
And
Yeah.
men are physically stronger than women. It's fact.
There is women who are physically stronger than some men. However, as a whole, as a genuine representative, they are stronger.
Exactly.
It's a factual statement. As much as yes, there is women who are able to be stronger than men. As a majority, biologically, they are not. The fastest. I remember there was controversies that the fastest women's athlete was a man who had transitioned. The heavyweight lifting record, I think it's deadlift record for women, was a man who had became a woman. Biologically, as a matter of fact, they are stronger, and that's it's a biological statement. It's not bloody women, look at them, weak little shits. It's nothing like that.
I saw a point this man made about a girl who wanted some transgender. She was pro transgenders in female sport, and and this guy said to her, in 5 years time, would you support a football team with 11 transgender women in it?
Yeah.
And then she didn't answer. She answered the question by not answering the question. She sort of went around.
Yeah.
It, which is a point you've got. I mean, like, will it happen? Probably not. Probably won't happen, but it might. Do you know what I mean? It might happen. As I mean, I might go to the shop and win the lottery. But like the thing is, you have a higher chance of getting in a car crash, driving to the lottery than actually winning it. Which tells you a lot. But I mean, we've probably upset someone, and I do apologise. I do apologise. I don't want to upset anyone. I don't, but it's your opinion and it's your views, and some of the things I said based it on fact. But like I said to myself, I would love to manage a female women's team, because you have the chance to be the first. You could be the first person to win the Premier League, the Women's Premier League and the Men's Premier League. Stuff like that. I would love to manage a women's team. But right now, should they get paid enough? No. Should women do a little bit more for the women's game? Yeah, of course they can. But so can the men. Men can do a lot more for the women's game. Men got a massive problem in the men's game. In football, a lot of stuff with homophobic abuse, racism, massive thing in football. Now, that is getting, it's not getting sorted, but there's definitely awareness now, and but there's still cases of people online giving away racist abuse, which is just stupid. Because just because Marcus Rashford missed an open goal doesn't mean you should call him the N word. Use derogatory terms. You shouldn't do that. But some people do, which is sad. But I mean,
it's a shame that it's always going to be a shame that stuff like that happens.
Is it ever going to go away? No. Is racism ever going to stop? No.
Exactly. That's like I was literally going to say that exact thing. Like that's like saying, is racism ever going to just stop dead? Of course not, because it's just some people are pieces of shit.
Yeah,
it's about
I mean, 7 billion people, one of them is going to be racist, and that's just a fact. And it's also sad, because someone shouldn't hate someone for the colour of their skin, because it's a colour. You're hateful.
It makes no difference. Like
like people might go, well, it's like, well, my granddad did it, or I did it as a kid. When I was a kid, it's just a done thing. Well, okay, doesn't mean you should do it now.
You be the one to be better,
It's like a fucking German person from 1940 go, well, I hate Jews because back in my day we hated Jews. I said, okay, well, just because it happened back in the day, mate, doesn't mean it should
So educate yourself. So kind of, realize that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long shot, and some people might look at me like it's not the same thing. But I'm not very good at analogies, but that's sort of the best I can come up with.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like there's people who have grown up in blitheringly racist conditions. There's people who have been part of cults. There's been people who have in those kind of conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Later in life, they realize I was wrong, and they move on. I feel like regardless of how much someone like what's the word I'm looking for? Um,
Don't know. Sinned.
upbringing.
Yeah.
I feel like it does have an effect on like who you are, who you become as a person.
100%.
However, what you make of that upbringing reflects 20 fucking million times more on what kind of person you are.
Yeah.
Like, I was actually thinking about this, right? So I'm completely fine with getting into personal stuff. But like I was thinking this a while ago. Recently, I don't think even I assume you wouldn't be aware, but recently a while ago I was kicked out of the house. I was kicked out of my dad's house. Started living with my mom.
Did not know.
And yeah, and like I was thinking a while ago, I was like, you know what? Considering I have, and this is gonna sound really dark, but trust me, I do not mind.
Okay.
I was like, you know what? For having an emotionally and physically abusive dad, an absent mother, and an emotionally abusive stepmother, I feel like I turned out an okay person. Like,
Yeah.
and like I know that like
That's good on
there's
you,
people who, like, yeah, and like it's not like a pat myself on the back thing. It's a grateful to myself thing. Like, thankful to myself that you didn't turn out a piece of shit. You didn't become like an addict or just a degenerate.
Yeah.
It's it's also kind of like but it shouldn't be like at all, and it isn't. But it shouldn't at all be good on you, Sid. It's a thing that should just be a thing.
Yeah.
But it's obviously never gonna be like that. That like
some people will go down the wrong route.
yeah, two people of the exact same upbringing, I feel like character makes a big difference on whether they do turn out, well, how they turn out.
It's a
Character
choice,
makes a
really.
massive difference.
At the end of the day,
Like-
it's a choice. Because some people, for someone like you, I think
It's
like,
how
you have
much
a
you
strong,
let it affect you.
you have a strong will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's good on. I mean it is good on you for from what you've been through to like where you are now. But
Yeah.
it's just
But-
it's the character.
yeah.
It's the character of you, like the will. So because a lot of people sadly who experience those things and will not be the same. They will look on things differently. They will change their perception differently. Some people don't want to. Some people just can't be asked. It just is what it is. But then some people who fight for themselves and they win most of the time.
I understand why sometimes they can become people who aren't the most pleasant because of upbringing.
Yeah.
However, there is people who do have such difficult upbringings and do turn out okay. And it's not like, oh yeah, your past doesn't matter. My past was bad and I'm okay. It's not like that because everyone's situation is different, completely different.
And
It's just
personalities are different.
everything reflects everything. I feel like they're. Yeah, I feel like I always think I'm like, okay, yeah, shit upbringing, whatever. I'm still where I am today. And if one of those things hadn't happened the way it did, I might not have been here today. So you know what? I'm still doing what I'm doing. And I think I'm completely fine with that.
That's good on you, mate. I mean, it's been a very different podcast to the one we started out doing.
Yeah.
And
I definitely would say.
A lot of controversy, a lot of just a lot of rambling, which is what you're going to get used to on this podcast. But
Yeah.
finish it on a good note. Again, to say congrats to 1,000 subs on YouTube.
Yeah.
Here's to the next 1,000.
Well, thank you, man. Yeah.
And
I mean,
the next 9,000 as well. Because
I mean, eventually, I guess, but I don't see that happening for another like 2 years.
but mate, there's always there's going to be that one video, and you will make that
Yeah.
you'll make that one video. I'm going to predict something. By the end of this year, you'll have a video with over 15k views.
Ooh, okay. Are we talking new video or one of the old videos blowing up?
New video.
New video.
I just feel
Yeah.
like the content you make, and you might stop playing the Crew 2. You might go to a different game. You might make a vlog. You might do what it might be.
Yeah, I definitely want to diversify eventually. Yeah, I definitely want to diversify, and I will be.
Because I mean, the more markets you cover, the more people you entice in, right? And I think for the person you are and the community you have around you, you will definitely 100% get 15k. If you won't get 15k, you're getting 10k. But between those, I believe I reckon you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, and since I said that, 20% cut of the revenue.
Yeah, of course. Now, obviously, I do owe you all of that money from that video.
You see, I've copyrighted it now, so.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, on monetization, I guess, my current it's pending. It's pending. It'll be cool when it goes through.
How much
is it
How much is it per view?
It's a weird. It honestly depends. It's so different for every channel that there's not really an exact amount you can go by. But yeah, but currently it's getting reviewed.
Per thousand, it's like 5.
TikTok is. TikTok is. I know it's very little. I think it's like per 4,000, it's 5p or something like that.
Yeah. But I know. I know, like. I saw a video on like some girl's TikTok compared to her YouTube. Her TikTok got like the same amount of views to her YouTube video, and on her TikTok she made like 30 quid. And
the YouTube video would have made a lot more.
Yeah, but then like I think her podcast made like one of her YouTube videos got the same as her podcast, and her YouTube video made like 14 quid, and her podcast made like 100. So
yeah, it's because it's a completely different CPM type thing.
Revenue.
Yeah. It's because it's a different type of thing. Because what's the word I'm looking for? I completely lost it.
Have a think. Because we are. What's the time?
Oh, right. Yeah, because I'm making content on like a car game. It's YouTube. Yeah, YouTube gives different types of content, different amount of money, and podcast is one of the more favorable types of content at the moment. So that's getting a bit more money than usual.
Yeah.
So obviously, podcasts are all on the rise. Everyone's into podcasts nowadays.
Everyone's into podcasts. Even me's into podcasting.
Even you, and even yeah.
Yeah. Speaking about podcasts, I mean, it's been a pleasure. It's been an hour and 22 minutes of waffling, rambling, and absolute
Of good chat. Some good chat.
I've loved it. I loved all of it, mate.
Yeah, of course. Same here.
All right. I've been Tyler. You have been. What's your full name? Okay.
Sidwaj Hussein Shah Kazmi, or Sidwaj,
Whatever he
co-host of the Animosity podcast.
Anything else you'd like to add off?
Subscribe to Sidwaj and the Animosity podcast, but most of all, subscribe to Coaches Don't Play.
Got a question for you.
Oh, go on.
I used this in the last 2 podcasts. Sidwaj,
Yes.
how would you like to be remembered? Just before we end off.
Ooh. I feel like I'd want to be remembered. Is this like once I am gone from this earth, how I will be remembered, kind of thing?
Once you are reincarnated, once you are dead, once you're in heaven, whatever you believe.
Whatever the outcome is, once that's happened, someone who you can have a laugh. But I don't want everyone to be just be mourning my death 24/7. Screw it, have some fun. There's more in life.
Are we getting
Carry on.
Awake? That's what you're saying.
100%. And someone who just made you smile. Someone who just made you smile, kind of
That's
thing.
good,
I guess.
That's nice.
Yeah. And no, I guess if that's all that can happen, then I'm fine with being gone. I guess. Yeah, I'd definitely say so.
Alright, well, this has been Coaches Don't Play, episode number 4. Thank you for watching.